Hi, my name is Olivia and this is my 4th video in the series 12 months, 12 self-portraits, and this is none other than April. Let's just jump straight into the video. I have a KNF concept tripod, which I really like. I think it's definitely worth the investment. Do I think you need to spend a ton of money on a tripod? Not necessarily, but if you do own... My cat wants to come in. Girl, you can jump. Oh my god. But if you do own a more higher end camera, I definitely think it's worth I definitely do think it's worth the investment because you don't want to break your fucking camera. No shit. Now, how to actually take the photos on your own, you're either going to need one of those self-timer controller thingies. I've never used one of those, so I don't know how those works, but I think they're pretty simple and easy to use. But I use a self-timer app. Apparently there's like 2 different ones. I use the original one, which is the Imagine Edge mobile, and it's fine. It does the job. It's pretty straightforward. If you haven't connected your camera before, you will be registering a model and you'll be going into your Wi-Fi settings, and then it will give you a little QR code for where you can scan it in the mobile app, and then you can connect it. You can change all the settings on it, and you can choose white balance, all that fun jazz. You can also change the timer app, like if it's 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, all that fun jazz. Does it disconnect every once in a while? I mean, yeah, but that is what it is. Now, I do find if you have registered the model already, I do find that it sometimes takes a really long time to connect to the camera again. So I would just recommend just go in and do the same thing, just register another model, say it's not one of those kind of models, and just basically redo it again. And yeah, you will have the camera connected to your phone, and it just makes your life so much easier. I also do want to note, if you have a newer A7 model, I think that's what the models is called. If you have a A7 IV or an A7 V, they do have a different app that I think works a lot better. Because one of the only issues I have with this Imagining Edge, other than it crashes sometimes, but I feel like that's just how an app works, is that it will save a JPEG version of your photo, not a RAW. And sometimes you just want the RAW straight onto your phone, but you know, it's kind of whatever. Obviously, you want to shoot in nature, but what kind of nature do you want to shoot in? A body of water, maybe a forest, or maybe even a beautiful grassy field. Location is key to finding out the vibe you want in your photos. Next up is lighting. Do you want beautiful, glowy, bright images or dark and musty photos? That really determines the vibe of the photos. Originally, I wanted the lighting to be completely different. I wanted it to be beautiful and sunny and glowy, but it was musty, dark, and foggy. But I still really like the end result. Sometimes you don't get exactly what you want, but sometimes that's just the better choice. And lastly, but certainly not least, posing. And when I get said inspiration, I will go onto Pinterest and I will search up my inspiration, and usually I will get my posing, lighting, setup, everything on Pinterest right there and then. Sometimes I don't, sometimes it's straight from my head and I'm like, I like these, but I would rather want them, I don't know, dark and musty, or maybe I want a different outfit. There's a lot of different things that can happen. Actually, reconnect with nature. Yeah, I said that. You're taking photos in nature and you should be actually reconnecting with nature. What a wonderful idea. Are you stupid? No. This might be a silly point to make, but I do think when you are taking self-portraits, I think if you really want to emulate the vibes of nature, you should really be just connecting and enjoying the sounds of the birds, listening to the wind blow by, smelling the beautiful trees. Everything about a forest, especially a forest, is amazing. Your only problem is that in that moment is looking up at that beautiful sky, listening to the birds, and just smelling that wonderful smell of pine. Don't worry about getting a little messy. I think especially with a nature self-portrait, you need to be okay with getting a little dirty. I think this also applies to other self-portraits that are creative. I have a tendency to want to put myself in a bathtub and get wet. So that's fun. I've done a lot of bathtub photos. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I love water, and water is very nice and healing, so I think that's why I do it so often. And if you'd like to see the final results, go and head over to my Instagram where they have already been posted. So that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you learned something new. Please be kind to yourself and others. If you'd like to see more, you can watch the last video, my March self-portrait, where I compare a $100 camera to a $2,000 $100 camera. Which one is better? You're gonna have to find out yourself. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.